Hey y'all, it's Ashley. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to paint a beach scene of this photograph that I took in Biloxi, Mississippi on the beach. And what I did to it was I put it into a photo editor app on the phone and I just boosted the contrast and the colors, and it's going to help me paint a more realistic but at the same time still more loose photo. Now I'm mixing up some of my colors. I love M-Gram paints, and so these are all M-Grams. I use Cerulean Blue Deep and Ultramarine Blue, some Burnt Umber, and a little bit of Quin Rose just to vary my blues and the skies. What I'm trying to do here is to get my darks dark enough. When those darks are dark enough, even if you're painting in a more loose or impressionistic style, it will make your painting read much more realistic. Many people who are really good at impressionism use contrast in their work to fool your eye and to make their paintings appear more realistic. A lot of these paintings you can step back from and it looks like a photograph. It looks like you could walk into it, and upon closer inspection, when you get up into the painting and you start looking at all the intricacies and the details and the brushwork, it becomes very apparent that a lot of the things that look so realistic from far away are nothing but blobs or suggestions. And that kind of work really amazes me. So in my current artist journey, I'm trying to push my work more into that direction. So anyways, back to the painting, and right now I am completing my first wash on the sky, and I definitely had a background up there at the top, but I will go over it again later to try to camouflage that patchiness. And now I'm putting in the ocean, and I'm trying to use a lot of dry brush just because I want it to be more of a suggestion. I wanted the back to stay really dark, and I liked the way the left side of the water bled up into the sky, so I just left it. And now I'm gonna put a few dark spots around the edges of the sand just to indicate like some shadows from crashing waves. And with the sand, I also added to my palette some nickel quinacridone rose. And the sand is just a combination of every color on my palette plus the nickel quinacridone rose in different saturations. My grass shadows to the right are a mix of ultramarine, burnt umber, and quinacridone gold. And my broken pier here is a thicker mixture of ultramarine and burnt umber, and a few spots I did put some quin gold in there just to bring out some green tones in the wood that I saw that day. All right, second wash. And in the sky on the second wash, my goals were pretty much to heighten my contrast and get my darks as dark as I want them to be, and get your eye where I want it to go with those darks. I also wanted to add a little bit more interest to the sky. I just felt it was a little too gray, so I'm going to use a little bit more pure color and bright color instead of muted color on the second go around. When I get down to the water and the sand, I'm pretty much just applying the shadows how I see them in the picture, except I'm not being too particular or finicky about it. I'll add a little bit of the brown to the waves to kind of integrate the sand color into the watercolor closer to shoreline, and add a little bit of shadows underneath some of the waves that I created using the dry brush technique. On the beach, I'm using a little bit of dry brush to get some texture in the foreground, and closer towards the water, I'm going to put in a few shadows where the water had deposited debris. Then I'm going to put a few shadows under some of the waves and deepen my shadows on my pier before moving on to the grass. So for the grass, I'm using a combination of burnt umber, quin gold, and ultramarine. And I picked up my dagger striper from Silver Black Velvet brush to do the grass with. It's kind of like a rigger that just holds even more paint. I love my dagger striper for doing small thin lines like this, and it does them so well. Okay, so now I'm about 99% done with this, and I just wanted to add in a few of the birds that were flying in the sky because I thought that they played an integral part of the photograph that I took. There were too many birds in my photo reference to put into my painting, though. I did not want to overwhelm the piece, so I picked a few out that I liked, and the larger, darker birds that are closer to you I tried to put at points of interest in the sky, but I also tried to balance those out with some lighter, smaller, more farther away birds. Alright guys, since we're almost done, I would like to thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments about this painting, please leave them below. If you want to follow me on other social media platforms, my Facebook and Instagram links will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and watching my video, and I hope y'all have an amazing day. Here is the finished painting, and I will see y'all next time.